Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We are the Rosary Team Podcast, and today we are getting into one of the most recognizable yet maybe least understood pieces of Christian art in the world, the icon of Our Lady of Perpetual Help.
It's so true. You know, when you think about Marian images, this one is right up there with Our Lady of Guadalupe in terms of just global recognition. And our sources really treat it as more than just a painting.
Right, it's a theological document, a window into eternity.
Exactly. And our mission today is to unpack that. We're going to look at its incredible, almost unbelievable 500-year history and then decode the rich symbolic language the artist used.
And discover some really surprising things about the relationship between the mother and child portrayed here. So let's start with the journey. This is a wild story for a little wooden panel, about 20 inches tall.
It is an epic journey. It's a Byzantine icon painted on wood. And while some traditions say St. Luke himself might have painted the original, what we can document is its presence back to the late 1400s, almost certainly from Crete.
And its arrival in the West, it's straight up drama on the high seas.
It really is. The story goes that a merchant, probably in the late 15th century, actually stole the icon from a church in Crete. He saw it as a treasure and took it with him on a ship to Rome.
And some sources even say he prayed to it during a storm at sea, which is
But
quite a turn from thief to devotee.
well, desperation can do that. But his mortal journey ended pretty soon after he got to Rome. He fell gravely ill, and on his deathbed, he confessed everything to a friend. He made him promise to return the icon to a church.
But it wasn't that simple, was it?
No, not at all. The friend's wife saw how beautiful the icon was and just refused to give it up. She kept the sacred treasure hidden in her home.
Which is where the story shifts from human greed to, divine intervention.
Precisely. The Blessed Mother herself appears in a vision to the couple's young daughter, who is only 6 years old. And she tells her to let her mother know that Holy Mary of Perpetual Help must be placed in the Church of St. Matthew the Apostle.
You can't get a clearer directive than that.
No, you can't. And the mother finally complied. The icon was enthroned on March 27, 1499, and for almost 300 years, it was venerated there, known as the Madonna of St. Matthew. It became a huge deal in Rome.
300 years of peace. But then came Napoleon, and this is where the icon just vanishes.
Right. The Church of St. Matthew was destroyed during the French invasion of Rome sometime around 1798. The city was just in chaos.
And the monks there, they had to flee.
The Augustinian monks, yes. They managed to rescue the icon, and they took it with them to their new monastery, Santa Maria in Plastrilla. But in all the turmoil, the history, and the importance of this specific image, it just got lost, forgotten.
So this famous, beloved icon, a treasure of Rome, just disappears into a monastery cloister for more than 50 years. That's astounding.
It really is. It shows you how fragile memory can be. But there was one little thread left, a man named Michael Marchi.
He's the key, isn't he?
He is the key. He had been an altar boy at St. Matthew's before it was destroyed, and a monk had told him, never forget this icon. Years later, Marchi is now a Redemptorist priest.
And in this incredible twist of fate, the Redemptorists buy the exact piece of land where St. Matthew's used to be.
To build their new church, the Church of St. Alphonsus. So when they start hearing these local rumors about a famous lost Madonna, from that spot, Father Marcha, now an old man, is the only one left alive who knew exactly where it was.
Unbelievable. So they went to the Augustinians.
They did, and they found it. Then they appealed to the highest authority, Pope Pius IX. And here's another amazing detail. Pius IX had prayed before that very icon as a boy, back when it was still at St. Matthew's.
Wow. So he had a personal connection to it.
A very powerful one. He immediately ordered it returned to the spot Mary had requested centuries before. And then he gave the Redemptorists a new mission.
The famous line.
Make her known throughout the world. And that one command changed everything for their order. It became a global mission.
And on April 26, 1866, it was brought back in a huge procession to the new Church of St. Alphonsus, where it is today.
And the devotion just exploded instantly. Miracles, cures. The sources document over 300 miraculous cures in the Boston area alone in just a few years in the 1870s.
They were building bigger and bigger churches just to hold the crowds for the weekly devotions.
And you have Pope after Pope Pius IX, Leo III, Pius X all venerating it. This solidified its place as a truly global Marian icon.
It's amazing. An altar boy's memory saved it. So now that we know the incredible journey it took, let's look at the image itself. It's a Byzantine icon, you said, of a specific class.
Yes, it belongs to what's called the Cardiotissa class. It comes from the Greek word cardia, which means heart.
Ah, so it Emphasizes tenderness, compassion.
Exactly.
All right.
Mercy. And we have to remember, this isn't a portrait in the modern sense. It's a coded message, a door into eternity. Every detail has a meaning.
Okay, so let's start decoding. Let's start with Mary. At the top, we see those Greek letters M, P, and O, Y.
That's shorthand for Meter Theou, which just means Mother of God. It establishes her identity right away. Now look at her clothes, the colors.
She has a red tunic and a dark blue mantle over it.
Right? And those colors are so intentional. Red was the color worn by virgins in that era, but it also evokes royalty and martyrdom. Blue is the color of motherhood and also of heaven.
And together,
Well, you mix the red of earthly suffering with the blue of heaven, and what color do you get?
purple.
The liturgical color of penance, of preparation. The artist is literally showing us the path to heaven is through penance, all in the colors of her robes.
That's incredible. What about the star on her veil?
The eight-pointed star identifies her as the star of the sea, the Stella Maris. She's the one who guides us through the stormy seas of life to the safe harbor.
Which is always Christ.
Always.
So let's turn to the child Jesus. We see his abbreviations too, ICXC for Jesus Christos. And what's so striking is he looks like a little man, not a baby.
That's classic Byzantine iconography. It's meant to signify his infinite divine knowledge. Even as an infant, he is God, and he possesses all wisdom.
But at the same time, he looks terrified. He's running to his mother. That's the emotional heart of this piece, isn't it?
It is the central message. He's God, yes, but he is also fully human. And in the icon, he is seeing a vision of his future passion, and his human nature recoils in fear, so he runs to his mother for comfort.
And look how he's holding her hand.
Yes, he clasps her hand with both of his palms down. It's a gesture that shows he's placing all the graces of redemption into her care. But then look at Mary's hand.
It's open. She's not grabbing him back.
She's not. Her hand remains open, inviting us, the viewer, to place our hands in hers right there alongside Jesus.
That's the connection point. You know, when you really stop to consider the sheer depth of meaning packed into the sacred art, it offers such profound insight. And if examining this art makes you want to bring that reflection and beauty into your own home, we'd encourage you now to visit rosaryteam.com to acquire Christian art for your walls. All right, let's get back to the symbols. And maybe the most famous one, the detail everyone notices, is that loose sandal.
The dangling sandal, yes, it's a fantastic detail. On one level, it shows the haste with which he ran to his mother. He was running so fast, so full of human fear, that his sandal nearly fell off.
But with icons, there's always another layer, right?
Always. There's also a deep theological reading. The loose sandal symbolizes his divine nature, which is unbound by earth. The sandal that is still secure represents his human nature, which is firmly planted on earth.
So the sandals together teach the incarnation, fully God and fully man.
The whole doctrine right there in his footwear. It's brilliant.
Okay, up in the corners, we have the archangels.
We do. On the left, with the Greek letters above him, is St. Michael, and on the right, St. Gabriel. And notice what they're holding.
The instruments of the Passion. Michael has the spear and the sponge, and Gabriel has the cross and the nails.
Yes, but look at how they're holding them. Their hands are covered with a cloth.
Like a priest uses with the Eucharist, a humeral veil.
Exactly. It's a sign of immense reverence. These aren't just tools of torture. They have become sacred objects because they are the instruments of our salvation.
And even with these symbols of suffering, the whole image just radiates hope. And that has to be the background color.
The gold background, absolutely. In iconography, gold represents the resurrection, the eternal light of heaven. So the angels are presenting these instruments almost like trophies of Christ's victory over death.
The victory is already present in the image.
It is. And it's underscored by the golden crowns on both Jesus and Mary, showing that they now reign in glory.
So let's finish with Mary's face, her expression, her gaze, because this is where the title Perpetual Help really comes home for the viewer.
Her face is so serene, yet so sorrowful. Her eyes are large because, as tradition says, they see all of our troubles. But the most important thing, she isn't looking at Jesus.
No, she's looking right at us.
She is looking directly at you, the viewer. It's a look of compassion for our own fears, but it's also a gentle plea. She's reminding us that our sin caused her son suffering, and she's asking us to love him. Her mouth, by the way, is painted very small,
Why is that?
to symbolize her spirit of silence and prayer.
So if we pull all of this amazing symbolism together, how does it actually apply to us right now? What's the takeaway?
It gives us permission. I mean, this icon shows God himself in his human nature running to his mother for comfort. If the child Jesus can turn to Mary in his moment of terror, then that gives us the ultimate model. We should do the same in our own suffering.
And the help she offers isn't to take the suffering away.
No. And that's the deepest lesson of perpetual help. Mary was present with Jesus through the Passion. She accompanied him. She couldn't stop it, but she was there. And she promises to be with us in the same way, offering support, knowing that our suffering, when we're united to Christ's, is redemptive.
She becomes our guide.
Yes. Her formal title in iconography is Harikatria, the one who guides us to the Redeemer. Her whole purpose is to lead us to her Son.
So even with the cross and nails right there, the ultimate message is hopeful. It's joyful, really.
It's completely joyful. This single image tells the entire story. You have the incarnation in the sandals, the passion with the angels, and the resurrection in the gold background and the crowns. We see the victory already won. And that allows us to turn to our mother for perpetual, never-ending help, just like Christ himself did.
The King of the universe sought comfort from his mother. That really is the key, isn't it? It's the permission we need.
That's the power of this icon.
It's a truly profound piece of art that has survived so much to guide us today. To bring the grace and glory of this contemplation into your own home, we encourage you one last time to visit rosaryteam.com to acquire Christian art for your walls. Thank you for listening to the Rosary Team Podcast.